We're down to the final four, Fright fans. What's it gonna be in our Ghost Host Halloween countdown for 2025? I hope all of you have been enjoying this countdown, these movies that feature real life horror hosts in them. I think it's been a fun countdown, and I've had a lot of fun watching and putting this together. I hope you guys have had just as much fun watching them as well. Well, tonight's movie, yeah, this is another independent little horror movie that definitely lives up to its name, Dr. Gore. Dr. Brandon, played by J.G. Patterson, is a famous plastic surgeon. After his wife dies in an automobile accident, he is determined to find a replacement. But not just any woman will do. He decides to create the perfect wife from parts of various women. He hypnotizes beautiful young girls, then, with the assistance of his hunchback assistant Gregory, kidnaps and dismembers them. He then uses the various parts of each to assemble his own perfect mate, Frankenstein style. Now, this film is interesting for several reasons, first and foremost being the man who plays Dr. Brandon, J.G. Patterson. Pat, as he was known to colleagues, wrote, produced, directed, and starred in Dr. Gore. He was also a former TV horror host called the Mad Daddy. This is not to be confused with the better-known Cleveland, Ohio DJ Pete Mad Daddy Myers, who was also a horror host known as the Mad Daddy in 1958. Patterson went under the moniker the Mad Daddy in Charlotte, North Carolina, where he hosted their version of Shock Theater from 1958 to 59, making him part of that first wave of horror hosts. He later went on to become a spook show performer under the name Dr. Brandon, the same name as his character in this film. The opening credits of the film list him as America's #1 magician, Don Brandon. This reflects Patterson's love of magic, which he incorporated into his spook show act. Prior to making Dr. Gore, Patterson had cut his teeth on several Herschel Gordon Lewis movies, both as a producer and an actor. He also provided special effects for 3 on a Meat Hook from director William Girdler that same year, 1972. Girdler, in return, provided the music for Dr. Gore. The co-producer for Dr. Gore, Jeffrey Hoag, was also a producer for Girdler's Asylum of Satan, also made in 1972. The script for Dr. Gore is ridiculous, and the effects clearly created on a shoestring budget, such as the scene where the doctor uses the high-tech equipment of aluminum foil and duct tape in his Frankenstein experiment. Patterson is a decent actor, although it's clear he wrote the script as he makes out with every attractive female in the film, despite a 20-year or more, possibly, age gap. But as Mel Brooks said, it's good to be the king. The effects of this are eye-poppingly graphic and reminiscent of a Herschel Gordon Lewis film, which makes sense as Patterson was a Lewis alumna. In fact, for the VHS release of this film, there was an intro from Herschel talking about the film, which he says was lost for years. Dr. Gore, as I said, really lives up to its name. Now, you can see the Herschel Gordon Lewis influence in this film. He was definitely trying to impress Herschel. He was going all out, pulling out the same kind of gore effects that Herschel did. Got a little bit of mad science in this film, some of the laboratory stuff. Kind of funny, some of the props and things, but he was using what he could. He had a vision. He had an idea to make this horror movie, this mad science movie. He got it done. This film's also known as The Body Shop, which is kind of a cool name. All right, so what am I going to give Dr. Gore? I'm going to give it 2.5 skulls. It's definitely better than last night's Ray Dennis Steckler entry. And it's funny that these two films would come up back to back because they would actually make a pretty good double feature. Dr. Gore, aka The Body Shop, and The Hillside Strangler meets The Hollywood Slasher. That'd be a pretty neat double feature of Gore Fest there. Yeah, for sure. All right, have you guys seen Dr. Gore? It's right here on YouTube, I do believe, and I think you can find it on archive.org as well. This is an interesting movie, and it's fun to me for the fact that it's so Herschel Gordon Lewis-esque in its special effects. The special effects the Gore effects being the star here. So it's aptly named as Dr. Gore. All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Tune back in tomorrow. Getting down to the last few days of our countdown. We'll keep it going. See you here back in the lab tomorrow night. Stay mad.